LaToya McBean Pompy, an immigration lawyer in New York, working with clients nationwide at McBean Law, where we believe in freedom, immigration freedom. As you join me tonight, guys, say hello. I hope you're feeling well. It's Tuesday, November 11th, and this month is flying by. It's flying by. Okay, so we've got to make the most of the time that we have. And tonight, we're going to talk about your questions because you need life-changing information, right? And things are so intense with immigration now that it's very important that you know exactly what you're doing and that you get good information. There's a ton of information out there, ton of information, and a lot of information out there. It's really good information, but sometimes it's hard to process it all. So on tonight's show, I will do my best to answer some of the questions that you guys have. This is not going to be a very long show. Come on in, say hello, hello. Hi there, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. It's great to be with you guys tonight. Freedom Now. If you're joining, I see Ohio is in the house. Good to see you. Hey there, Janet. Ocean, good to see you. God's Child, Angie, thank you. Freedom Now. Friends, our contact information is scrolling below. You may reach out to us tomorrow morning, okay? At our office hours are for book-in consultations are from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. Freedom Now, guys. Freedom Now. Type in Freedom Now and say hello and where you're watching from. Good to see you. Destiny, thank you for being here tonight. Ashburn, Virginia is in the house. If you're joining tonight on Instagram, be sure to double tap this live session and share it with others. Hey there, Joyful. Thank you. Freedom Now. Freedom Now. Hey, Maurice. Good to see you on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for your referrals. Yesterday, I met with a really lovely couple who told me that their lawyer sent them to us. Their lawyer. All right, guys. It was that was amazing to hear. Their lawyer. So hello, all of the lawyers who are watching and following. Thank you so much for trusting us as well with information. Maria starts us off tonight with some good news. She's the first one to share something wonderful. She says, my green card was approved. 5 months total was her processing timeline. Maria Silva. Congratulations, Maria. We're very happy for you guys. Let's congratulate her. She shared this information on YouTube at McBean Immigration TV. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Maria, for sharing that. And guys, if you have a good news that you'd like to share with us, be sure to do that. We all need the encouragement. Hey there, Rabba. Thank you so much for being here, Mark. Good to see you. Patrick, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Patrick is in Miami. We work with clients in Florida as well. Guys at McBean Law, we're coordinating a lot of responses these days for people who are being detained, people who have a removal order, people who are in immigration court. We're doing a lot of that work. Folks who need some federal litigation, we're doing that work now as well, more of it, I should say. And we're just looking for ways to keep you in the United States under the law. That's our mission. The government has a different mission, okay? Its mission is to buffer. Its mission is to delay, to frustrate, to get folks to give up, and to cut short maybe due process for some people. But our mission is very clear, and it is to help our clients achieve the freedom that they are so desperately seeking, freedom to be their best in the United States. And so our goal is to try to keep as many people in the United States who we get the privilege of working for and with. And so, and then also we're working with folks outside of the United States, trying to help them to come into America as well. All right, so that's what we're doing, heavy lifting each day. We're not the ones, if you're just looking to bounce ideas off At this time, it's hard for us to sit and just evaluate whether you have a case or not, because we're so busy all throughout the day trying to keep our clients in the United States, going to court, writing briefs, coordinating responses for them, just doing a host of things, meeting with new clients, working on our cases and getting them out for our clients, responding to USCIS, going to USCIS interviews. Guys, we're doing a lot of heavy lifting these days, and so we're really honing in on people who really need help, people who are in trouble and who need help. So if that sounds just right for you, you can reach out to us for a consultation to get started with our process. Isma is asking, can I get in touch with you? I live in Chicago. Yes, Isma, get in touch with us. Get in touch with us, you folks who live in Chicago. As you guys probably heard in the news, CBP, Customs, okay, Border Patrol agents, I don't have this in front of me, but they're getting ready to pull out. Some of them are pulling out of Chicago, right? Which is a good thing. But ICE says that they will still be there and they're still going to do what they do. Okay. ICE says they are present there and they will continue to crack down. However, Border Patrol folks are headed out. Okay. Gregory Bovino. Okay, he was leading the charge along with 200 agents from the border. They're planning to leave Chicago, although we don't know if all of them, all 200 will leave or just some will leave. The media is reporting that some will remain. And CBS News is reporting that they're headed to Charlotte, North Carolina. Like we ever really know where they're going, but according to CBS News, they're looking to leave Chicago. Their Operation Midway Blitz might be over. I don't know. And headed to Charlotte, North Carolina. Of course, there's speculation about New York as well. That New York is not mentioned in this article. That I didn't read it all the way through. I didn't see New York mentioned here, but Charlotte, North Carolina is certainly what is being reported as the next hotspot, so to speak, for CBP agents to go in and try to crack down and most likely break the law, okay, like what happened in Chicago. All right, guys, let's get into your immigration questions and solutions for you tonight, okay? Thank you, guys. The first question, it comes from Cadix. Cadix says that he's married or she's married to a U.S. citizen. I did a court marriage. I don't have any pictures of that day. There's no criminal record. I've overstayed my visa. Case has been pending for a year. Should I be worried? I have a ton of joint evidence. I don't think you should be worried. I think you're on track, and I wish you well with your case. Where can I meet you? I'm in the Bronx. This person says that he or she is in the Bronx. You can just come on up come on up to White Plains, because we're not very far from you. Okay, so you can meet with us at our office in White Plains, New York, if you choose to. Not White Plains. Road in the Bronx. Sometimes people go there. They call us. Well, we call them and say, "Where are you? You're late for your consultation." I'm on White Plains Road in the Bronx, and we're like, "Why are you there?" We're not in the Bronx, so don't make that mistake. So come on up. We'd be happy to meet with you, or just you could also have a video or telephone consultation. We do those too. Can I book a consultation? Is asking. Yes, you can. Call us at the number in the profile, or you can go on our website now, fill out the form, and someone on our team will call you bright and early tomorrow. Someone says that my husband and I went for our interview in April. We haven't heard from immigration yet. Something might have come up that triggered additional review of your file, because once you're interviewed by immigration, by USCIS, this is my personal, my experiences, okay? That I'm speaking from here. Once you're interviewed by USCIS as a couple, you usually find out very quickly thereafter if they're on track to approve your case. they approve it, and it happens very fast. So there's a little bit of additional review that they're doing in your case. Staten Island is in the house. Awesome. Thank you for being here from Staten Island. Let's keep going. Abigail says, I finally got my green card. Yay. Terrific. Congratulations, Abigail. Abigail has been a long time follower, watcher, and all of that. I don't even know if I've ever met with her. I don't know. That's great. I love it when you guys come back and tell me that you've won. Excellent. Now, go take a little trip, get out, go get some Caribbean sun or something like that. That's wonderful. Thank you. Now, let's see, go down a little bit here. Go down. Have you noticed adjustment of status throughout U.S. citizen marriage cases have been slowing down? For some people, yes, yes. But we're still also seeing some cases move quickly, like 3 months or 4 months. Some cases are being approved at that speed as well. I don't understand what's really going on. I don't know anything more than you as far as why some cases, tend to just move fast, much, much faster, aside from the fact that they're well prepared. But we have other well prepared cases that are taking a while. Okay, they're taking much longer than 3 or 4 months for USCIS to get to those cases. Okay, thank you. Let's go down a little bit. My case has been sent to the Department of State, Manpreet says. How much time to approve I-130? Are you saying that your I-130 case has not been approved yet? Because normally your case has to be approved, the I-130 case has to be approved before they send your case on to the visa center, because that's the whole point of going to the visa center is you have an approved I-130 case and now you're ready, potentially ready for the next step in the process. Is USCIS issuing citizenship during this time? Some field offices have canceled the citizenship ceremony, from what I understand. Okay, some field offices have canceled it during this shutdown. Freedom now, Joanne. Good to see you. Freedom now. Have I heard about biometric appointment delays? I have not. I don't track it. I'm not paying attention to that aspect of things at this time. I don't have an answer. How many ways can I say that I don't know? Let's see. She's already said it 3 times. Let's see if she could come up with a fourth way of saying she doesn't know. That's what that has turned into. Double tap the screen, guys. We hope that things will really improve in Chicago. Okay, now that Customs, CBP, Border Patrol has said that they're leaving. Some Border Patrol agents will be leaving Chicago, from what is being reported. You're on track for your naturalization to be approved. Yes, that when they've recommended it for approval. Yes, that's what that means. Our address can be found on our website. Okay, it can be found on our website. Go to mcbeanlaw.com and you'll see our address. It's 235 Mamaroneck Avenue, 235. Is it safe to apply for the I-601A waiver? I think so, yes. I think that's fine. I haven't seen any particular problems from our clients, our caseload with respect to the I-601A waiver. Let's see. Double tap the screen and say freedom now. How long does it take for an unmarried adult daughter, to receive her green card when her parent is a permanent resident? That's going to take several years on the I-130 process, 7 or 8 years on the I-130 process, but then the next part of the process will involve a visa application to the National Visa Center if that person, the daughter, is outside of the United States. If that daughter is here in the United States, additional time should be added for the daughter to file a waiver that she will need before she leaves the United States for the embassy. My wife is American, first denied our case, and lawyer reversed, but nothing new more than 1 year. Teddy, what your case was denied at first. This is a family-based process through your U.S. citizen wife. You said here that your lawyer reversed. What do you mean by reversed? The case has it been reopened by immigration? Was a motion to reopen filed with them? Is that what you mean? The motion to reopen process can take anywhere from maybe even a week. There are or were times when we saw the appeal, the motion to reopen I-290B be approved within a week. Other times it would take several months for the government to get back with us. We have another good news from Dixie. Dixie NYC says, my husband's green card was approved last week, almost exactly 3 months from filing to approval. We have freedom now. I like that. She says, we have freedom now. That's great. Freedom to travel. Get that man on an airplane and go take a good vacation. I'm happy for you guys. That's so wonderful. Thank you. Hey there, Mitri. Good to see you. Good to see you. She says, keep up the work, the good work. Hey there, Natalie. Let's go Instagram and let's go here. Oh, sorry, guys. I want a lawyer for a citizenship process. I am already a permanent resident. Okay, Eboa, the smart, work with a lawyer. Do that on your naturalization case. Things have changed with naturalization. Okay, so contact us if you'd like help with your naturalization case. We do SIJ cases. We do SIJ cases. My friend has a SIJ court case on the 24th of November in Queens County Family Court. What do you think she will get approved? So most likely the judge is going to issue that predicate order granting maybe guardianship. I don't know what process specifically that person is seeking. Usually it is guardianship. And once that happens, then that child qualifies to apply a self-petition on his or her own for the special immigrant juvenile status, and we'll have to wait because there is a delay in that category. Wait for the visa to become available and then file for adjustment of status. We do SIJ cases, guys, in family court in New York, New Jersey, and other states where our attorneys are licensed to practice law. And if we're not licensed in that state, like for instance, Georgia, no one in our office is licensed in the state of Georgia, we would work with a local attorney to work on the family court process for you. Do not allow your children to age out of the system if they're here in the United States without papers. And let's say, for instance, you're a single mom or a single dad. You might be able to work with an attorney or even an organization that handles these types of humanitarian cases to allow that child to self-petition and get a green card on his or her own. So please keep that in mind, parents, but you must act quickly, or guardians. Keep in mind, you can do it, but you've got to be proactive and fight for your children so that they could have a better future here. Let's see. What should you do? Barry is asking, and this sounds like it's going to be a serious question. What should you do if you have an I-485 interview coming up and your spouse is threatening to deliberately mess up that interview? Wow. What is it that she wants, Barry? What's going on there? Why would she do this, right? That's really cruel. That's abusive. that I would want to know what else could potentially be going on in your relationship. That's a little unnerving, honestly. You've got to, you know, your wife, you know what's driving this bitterness or these threats, you know her behavior, you know whether she's likely to follow through with it. But I would say this to her: what exactly does she want? Does she want you? Does she want to have stability with you here, having you here in the United States with her, having your family together? You've got to, she has to have that as her value. That has to be a burning desire and value that she has. And if she doesn't have that, then you might be in trouble. Okay. So if she goes in there and she deliberately answers the questions incorrectly to be spiteful to you, what will happen then is immigration, the USCIS may, I don't know, they may call you guys back in for a second interview and separate you and have a Stokes serious interview and ask each of you a lot of questions and try to figure out what happened there. Why were there so many inconsistent, if there are inconsistent statements, Barry? Why did you say this? Why did she say that? And give you an opportunity to bring your answers together in a way that makes sense and is consistent. You should have an attorney. You should have an attorney with you. It sounds like you're going to need one if you don't already have one. Certainly hire an attorney. But just keep in mind that your relationship, you can't control anyone. You can't control their behavior, and you can't control whether they're going to follow through with those threats or not. But if she does those things, you might very well have a path forward on your own for a green card. This is real life, guys. This happens all the time. And you do not have to feel like there's nothing that you can do. Okay, let's see. Humanitarian reinstatement cases take a very long time, over a year, sometimes 2 years, for USCIS to make a decision. I think, no, 3 years. 3 years, what am I saying? I was actually thinking about medical deferred action when I said that. Humanitarian reinstatement takes a very, very long time for immigration, USCIS to make a decision about. Double tap the screen on TikTok if you have not yet started following me there. Follow. Also, YouTubers, if you have not subscribed yet, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Hit that notification bell. Okay. Let's see. Oscar says, I was deported after a removal proceeding 3 months ago. Oscar, I'm sorry to hear that. And let's see, 3 years ago, he's married to a US citizen of 12 years, currently in Mexico. Ciudad. Okay, got a 10-year bar. What is the process? Got it a lawyer from Houston. Told me in 3 years I'll be a resident. What I'm intrigued about, Oscar, is you said something about, where is it? You have a 10-year bar. Okay, you have a 10-year bar. That is with respect to your removal. There's a possible, you might be able to come back in early. I'm not sure. So long as the 10-year bar that you're referring to, there is with respect to the removal, you can file a waiver, the I-212 waiver, to try to come back into the United States earlier than the 10 years, before the 10 years. Also, do you have a criminal record? Is there something on the criminal side, or also on the immigration side? Are you permanently barred? Do you have the perma bar? Like, those are the other issues that come up when we consider whether a person can return to the United States or not. It sounds like you might be able to come back, which is exciting. I went for an interview with my husband and our newborn baby in 2024. Shamika says here. Okay, great. What's the question, Shamika? My husband took back the paper they needed in mid-October, November 5th. It's still saying refused. I don't understand that. Is I-130 approved before the EAD, or is it the other way around? Normally, for most people, the work permit comes, the EAD application is approved first. Hey there, Anne Marie. Good to see you. Freedom now, guys. Sometimes you guys come to my consultation, and before I even get a chance to say hello, I hear freedom now. It sometimes throws me off. I don't know why. I'm like, oh, I should expect that. But sometimes it takes me a little bit to realize what's going on there, because normally I would say, good afternoon, this is LaToya McBean Pompy of McBean Law. Is this so and so? I don't even get to say that sometimes. It's freedom now. It's cute. You guys are the best. Um, let's see. My case was reviewed July 14th after my interview, 100 days after it's reviewed a second time. Wow, it's under review a second time. What does it mean? I'm married to a U.S. citizen. Oh, Adni, I would want to speak with you one-on-one. I would want to ask some questions about the marriage, what evidence you submitted, what questions they asked you during your interview, how did things go? Because you win it or lose it at the interview. Okay, so I'd like to know what's going on, because immigration, well, how things went for you, because immigration is obviously taking a very close look there at your case, USCIS. That's I am this I am I am supposed to go for my citizenship, but I am scared of ICE, Dolly says here. Dolly, you might not have any reason to be afraid. You might very well have a smooth time getting your citizenship. Certainly on our show here, you might, I don't know, you might hear me share the good news from many other people who say things like, oh, I got my citizenship. It was a very smooth process. It was easy. You might also face a very easy process. Don't cause yourself to be defeated just based on your own fears and everything like that, like what's going on in your head. Don't stand in your way of potentially becoming a U.S. citizen. Don't make that decision prematurely. If you'd like, certainly, to evaluate with a lawyer, speak with a lawyer about your concerns and your fears, and whether naturalization is something that you should do right now or not. Because the truth of the matter is, Dolly, there are people who shouldn't even be thinking about naturalization, and based on their level of confidence, they are doing it. And then, some of them, they get into trouble because they weren't supposed to be thinking about naturalization to begin with. So it's, but build up your confidence, guys. Build up your ability to go for it, to go for it. I have a green card, and I apply for my husband. He lives in Urban County. How much does it take? So Ines, I don't answer questions about our fees if that's what you're asking on this in this live forum. Is seeing a therapist needed for a VAWA case? Law Boss is asking. Not all the time, not always. It just depends on what type of abuse you face. If you face a physical abuse and you can clearly prove that you were physically abused in your marriage, well, you don't need to go see a therapist and spend 3,000 or 3,500 or whatever that fee is that the therapist might charge. And I'm just throwing out big numbers because sometimes, when you're in the urban city, when you're in New York, that's what you might face from a qualified, good person who knows what he or she is doing to evaluate your case, right? That's what some of them charge. You might not need that in a case where there's physical abuse. It just really all depends. Someone says immigration is not for the weak. It's about mindset, it's about preparation. I think if you prepare yourself and you think and you gather your facts and you realize, okay, here's where I stand. I think that allows people to be a lot more confident to approach immigration during this time because, yes, it is a very intimidating time, especially when you have us, me, and others who are out there in a very, very strong way with sharing information, sharing news, warning you about this, warning you about that, and all of this stuff, all of this information is circulating out there. You might obviously be afraid. But if you know your situation and you prepare, that's where you're going to get the confidence from. Because you hear people testifying tonight about 3 months approval from start to finish. It's these are good things are still happening, but you've got to know your situation. Work permit is taking a little longer for humanitarian cases. I don't know what's going on the marriage. I have not heard complaints about a slowdown on the marriage side in our office with the work permits. They're still coming in. They're still being approved. I think with 1 to 3 months still, but humanitarian cases, that's where there's a big delay. This administration is clearly not prioritizing humanitarian cases. So that's a problem. Freedom now, freedom now. Let's see. Fingerprints, someone is asking how far back do they go? They're looking to see what's on your criminal record, your FBI background record. So whatever is on there, even if it's something that's from the 1990s, it's going to still be there. And immigration will still want to know more about it. Hey there, TikTok. Thank you for those of you who are joining. If you have not yet started following me, this is the correct, the non-scam account that you should follow. Do not follow any other McBean sources on TikTok because they're all scams. People call me sometimes and they say they've lost $7,000 or, big money, because they think I'm the one texting them at night and I say to them, send me $7,000 just from a text message. They don't even hear my voice because that's what those scammers are doing, guys. So be very careful. Do not communicate with anyone on WhatsApp or in the DMs. Do not just text people and think it's me because you see my face and McBean Law on that WhatsApp message or that DM because it's not us. We have a process. The process involves you calling our 914 number, you speaking with someone, that person's going to ask you a lot of questions about what your problem is, and they're going to book a consultation for you, tell you when we're available, book that consultation. Then you're going to get a ton of calls from them too. They call a lot. For those of you who met with us in the past or work with us, you know that we communicate. The team is very heavy with that. So you'll get a couple of calls letting you know you have your appointment coming up. You'll get emails about your appointment coming up. We'll ask you to send documents to us so that we could prepare for your consultation. And then you'll actually meet with a live lawyer. That's us. But the scammers will only have you texting them on WhatsApp with my face, and they're going to sound very seductive, okay, guys, because it's mainly men who are just giving away their money like that. Guys, it's not me. Please, it's not me. Do not send your money to anyone like that, okay? It's not me. All right? Okay, let's go. Freedom now, guys. Freedom now. Let's go up a little bit. My daughter-in-law has DACA. Is married. Can she adjust her status if she gets married? Carmen is asking. She might be able to. Carmen, how did she enter the United States? Does she have any land-in papers and I-94? Does she have a record of entering the United States lawfully? Has she ever traveled on advanced parole? Does she have any unlawful presence on her record? There's a number of things that one would look at, but to determine whether she could adjust her status. But it's quite possible for sure. Guys, freedom now. Let's see. Let's head back over here. Okay, I see that I do have someone spamming. How do I do this again? I might have to, don't want to do it, but I have to. Okay, let's go there. If you spam, you will be banned from this channel, okay? That's just the how we're doing it tonight. So please don't spam us, guys. Word of warning. Let's see. Samuel says that I've applied for my EAD. I applied for EAD in March. I received the acknowledgement receipt in April. I have not received my EAD card since then. What type of case do you have? Is it an asylum case or a humanitarian case? Because like I said, those cases are slow. So they've slowed down with processing work permits. Let's see. I do, Bronx is in the house. For DACA, yes, I think it's fine. With respect to even initial applications, we're still saying yes to those, to initial DACA applications. I know some other attorneys are not. They're waiting and seeing, and that's fine. That's their prerogative. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. What's going on right now with immigration for people who came in through the border? What's going on right now? For some of them, well, many of them are in removal proceedings, and we do meet with some of them, and they're just trying to make their way through the immigration removal process. Some of them applied for asylum. Others got married to a U.S. citizen and are trying to get their papers that way. If they were obviously paroled into the country, they are eligible for adjustment of status. It really just depends on how they actually entered the United States. All right. Let's see. Let's go down a little bit. Alabama is in the house. Maria, you might want to contact us to talk about this. She said that she got her approval for VAWA. She's outside of the country in Mexico. Still hasn't heard anything from the visa center. It's been 6 months already. Your case, you want to make sure though that they know that your case is slated for consular processing. What does USCIS still have that approved case, that approved petition? If they do, you'll have to file the I-824 form to get the USCIS to move your approved case over to the visa center. All right. So because 6 months is way too long, you shouldn't be waiting that long for those two agencies to connect so that you can move forward with your visa application and get an interview date. So you could contact us for us to see what's going on there and if we could help you with that. Do you find that when they reply to cases within 4 months, that's a positive thing? So when you say they've responded to or replied to, what do you mean? Because most people do hear from immigration right away after filing. Most people, I throw around these words, most people really do. They get a receipt notice, then they get a biometric notice. So, they're moving along in the process. So I don't know if I would say that that's, of course, it's a positive thing, but it's just, as a matter of course, that's just how it goes. All right. Okay, Abigail says, I will email you my story. I feel like you were a part of it and helped give me encouragement by all that you do on this platform. Great. Email that story, Abigail. I will be reading it. Read that, send it to our office at info@mcbeanlaw.com and just say that you don't need an appointment because they will jump right on you and start calling you and emailing you and everything, my colleagues. So just say, I don't need an appointment. I just want to share my story with Attorney McBean. Please forward this to her. That's all you'll have to say, and they'll do that. I'm excited to see it. That's justice. Thank you for the gifts on TikTok. How long will one wait for adjustment of status through the U.S. citizen parent? Normally that's under a year. Normally that's a very straightforward process, immediate relative process. Okay, let's go down a little bit. Let's shift over here for a second. Thank you guys for being with me tonight on this during this live session. Okay. So I'm getting so many questions about how long it's going to take, how long. I can't answer so many of those. As soon as I said that, Nisi says, "How long does an I-130 process take?" Let's see. Let's go here for a second. Let's go up a little bit. If you go on USCIS's website and you punch in I-130 under certain categories, earlier I was looking at, I think it was, let's do this. Let's see, I-130, because they have some quite ridiculous processing times right now for green card holders. I'll have to refresh this for green card holders, okay? Some ridiculous timelines, 4 years and even longer, 6 years, right? I don't want you guys to become too discouraged by what you're seeing here. One thing that we're doing at McBean Law is being very aggressive. I don't think you deserve to be waiting so long here, okay? The National Benefits Center says that green card holders who file for their spouse or child under 21, and it's an I-130 process, it's taken 52 months. That's what they're saying here. Don't be too discouraged by these processing times that you're seeing here, because sometimes the cases are not processed along this based on the time that we're seeing here. Sometimes the cases are processed, a lot of times actually, much sooner than this. So don't lose heart when you see these long wait times here. But, we have to we're trying to use a little degree of common sense as well as we look at how long these cases are pending and whether a priority date is current, a visa is available, you deserve to move your case forward, especially if you're really going through some serious hardships and such. So we're looking at things like that and ways that we could go to the agency and say, hey, this has taken longer than it should. And who knows, sometimes there's a lawsuit that needs to be filed to push and force them to do something about this because it's not fair to you. Let's see. Rabba is asking, what if your asylum case was denied, but you still have an I-360 and an I-485 petition going on? It sounds to me like you might have a VAWA case going on, but your asylum case was denied. Well, normally with asylum, if USCIS doesn't approve that asylum case, they refer you over into immigration court, and they're very aggressive with that. So it will impact the I-485 process that you have going on. The I-360 process can still go forward, and they can make a decision on that I-360. It might be a VAWA that you have there pending, but going into removal at the midway point can really impact an I-485 that is pending at USCIS. They're going to administratively close that I-485 because they no longer have jurisdiction over that process because you're now in removal. Okay, let's go here. Okay, super chat question says, I had a lawful entry as a child and my visa expired. I have DACA, no criminal record. I'm in nursing school and I'm engaged to a U.S. citizen. Would advanced parole or marriage be better to adjust? Well, you entered the country lawfully with a visa. That's all that's needed. You don't need to do anything further. You don't need to have an advanced parole reentry or anything like that. Not necessary when you're going to adjust your status through a U.S. citizen spouse, right? That's what you have here. You're engaged to a U.S. citizen. So you're on track. You'll be a green card holder very, very soon. So that's good. Let's go back over here. Let's see. My I-130 was filed by my U.S. citizen spouse since 2023. Then they interviewed us in August, all right? And let's see, U.S. citizen biometrics took place in September. Guys, they're calling in some U.S. citizens to do biometrics, okay? The officer said it was a good interview. Any reason why there is a delay? There shouldn't be. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think there should be a delay. We're now into November, November 11th. They might be looking at the biometrics of that U.S. citizen. Do you think that you have any reason to be concerned about what could potentially be on your spouse's criminal record, if there is one? If there's a serious offense, that could very well be an Adam Walsh, and you could look that up for yourself. An Adam Walsh issue, then that could be an issue with respect to approving your case. I don't know what else could be there. They said it was a good interview. The person who interviewed you, that's a good sign. But maybe they're looking at those biometrics of your spouse. Let's go down a little bit. How much do you charge for mandamus? Ben is asking. So Ben, you could have a meeting with us one-on-one, and we'll see if you have a mandamus case, and then we'll quote you the fee privately. How long does it take to get a green card through an employer? It can take a few years. It depends on which category you're going through the process under. PAWA takes 3 years to be approved. The receipt notices are taken forever, like 6 months, 7 months to be sent to people. Like I said, these humanitarian cases are slow now, as far as certain steps. Let's see. Yes, the government does require you to update your address with them on their website. Can we speak to you? Yes, you can speak to me. Just book a consultation. How much to renew my green card? Again, guys, I just don't share fees publicly, okay? Let's go down a little bit. Let's see, what time is it? Freedom now, guys. Guys, I'm actually really tired right now. Hire me. I need a job in your law firm. Well, you know, you got to be really qualified. You can, here's what we have going on right now in terms of job openings, to my knowledge. Paralegal, experienced paralegal, experienced legal assistant, which is a step below paralegal. I think we might even still have a lawyer on the list too, attorney. I should know this, right? But I don't remember it all. Those 3 positions I know. What else, what am I missing? Yeah, paralegal, legal assistant, and attorney. Okay. So if you have experience and qualifications and you are smart, then you can give it a try. Give it a try. It's hard to get through the door. I'm telling you, it's hard. We make it hard. We do. We have to, because our clients, it's about your life. You're watching. You know who you are. You know what we're working on for you. And you've got to know what you're doing, because I'm not that easy to work with. I will be the first one to tell you I am really not that easy to work with because I carry the burden of the clients, their life. So you have to be truly qualified and great with people and passionate about helping others and seeing people become free and willing to go that extra mile and put in that empathy and that care into your work. So those are the qualities, some of the qualities that we really look for. If you're serious about things, you can email us your resume at jobs@mcbeanlaw.com. All of our positions are in person. They're at our office in White Plains, New York. We do not have any remote positions available. Okay. My friend wants Freedom Now. My friend wants to know if she can file for her husband because she is a green card holder. Yes, Natalie, she can file for her spouse, get him in line as soon as possible. Freedom Now. Let's go down just a little bit. Guys, we're going to wrap up 245I. Yes, we do those cases as well when we could find them, when we find people who are eligible for it, for that old amnesty. We love doing that type of case. Reach out to us at McBean Law, guys. I'm going to get going because I'm really exhausted. I had a busy day and have a busier day tomorrow. We're fighting the good fight for our clients, okay? Thank you for, I hope this was helpful to some of you. You got some questions answered. I'll be back before you guys, certainly on Monday. I might, there's a possibility that I could come back sometime later this week to be live with you. We'll give you the heads up, the notice, but certainly plan for Monday at 1 o'clock Eastern time for the live Q&A show. Guys, thanks so much for being with me. Reach out to us at 914-898-9488 or go to mcbeanlaw.com. I'll see you guys soon. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.